A lot of you may know my journey, a lot of you may not. And that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about my health journey, what got me to where I am today, and what makes me qualified to help out other people. So, buckle up. This may be a long one. About 7 or 8 years ago, I decided that I didn't want to live the way I was living. I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now. I was depressed. I was sick. I didn't have any motivation. And I literally, I'm, maybe it's the ADHD in me, but I am a very passionate person. When I set my mind for something, I go for it. And that's exactly what I did. I woke up one morning, I was determined to change my life, and I started that day. I didn't know anything about nutrition, about fitness, so I decided to start with my nutrition first. I read lots of books, I looked online a lot, I got involved in groups of people who were on the same health journey as me, and I went from there. I didn't know anything, but I tried not to let that hold me back, and it didn't. So month by month, I saw the weight start to come off, and I started to feel really good. Because I felt really good, I wanted to move my body, but I didn't know how. I set small goals. So I would go out and I would walk outside, and then I would go outside and I would jog. And that started as a journey, just something that I would do outside, something that I had access to. Well, fast forward, and before I knew it, I was stepping in a gym. I didn't know anything about a gym. I was not familiar with one, and I didn't really have a baseline on fitness and how to move my body, but I was determined. So I taught myself that too. I started in the cardio where I was comfortable because I knew how to hop on a treadmill. I did that for a while, but then I got a little curious. I walked over to the weights. I looked up stuff online. I got books and I read books about how to lift. And before I knew it, I fell in love with it. Not only was the weight coming off, but I was becoming stronger, mentally and physically. And over a period of a few years, I dropped the weight. I stayed consistent. I saw the results. When I lost a lot of my weight, I realized that some pain was still lingering. And that took me a while, but I was finally diagnosed with a chronic illness. I am grateful that I was diagnosed finally with chronic Lyme disease. And with that became trying to figure out inflammation and how that coincided with my wellness. So I tailored my nutrition too. It's always been a trial and error game, but I find what works for me. When I fell in love with health and nutrition and moving my body, I started to inspire others. People started to ask me, how did you get your weight off? What did you do? And so I started showing people what I did and what I knew. And before I knew it, I really wanted to learn more about it. So I went and got my certified personal trainer certificate. I was a certified personal trainer for 5 years. I worked in every setting that you can think of. I worked in big box gyms, training one-on-one with clients. I did group fitness, and I even did remote training. So I would make plans for people and train them online that way. That was especially helpful during the pandemic. So that's kind of how I came to be. I went from somebody who didn't know a thing about fitness and nutrition to somebody who has completely changed their whole lifestyle. Movement is a part of who I am. I'm in love with it. Nutrition is a part of who I am, and I'm in love with it. And I want nothing more than to share it with people who need it and who need that change in their life. That's what makes me qualified. Something that makes me so happy is being able to motivate people and encourage people to achieve their dreams and to finally feel well in their body, just like I am. That doesn't mean I don't have days where I'm not feeling good, but I have come up with a pretty good plan at this point to keep myself motivated and to make sure I'm healthy enough to dominate life in other areas. I've got some really exciting things coming. I've realized that health is absolutely a passion and it will forever stay in my life. And I want to lean into that, and I want to combine that with my other current passions. So stay tuned for what's coming. Tysen is ready to motivate, ready to inspire. Let's do this.